Hello everybody and welcome to Electric City Sentai Denzicaster, your somewhat regularly scheduled video cast about the wonderful world of Tokusatsu. I'm your host Mike. I'm joined on this edition by
Roger. Travis.
And the headline for this episode is Coop watches Amazon and likes it.
Ah.
So
accurate. And very surprising
Doesn't
to
always happen.
everyone involved.
That is a new thing to happen.
So we have just got done watching episodes 3 and 4 of Kamen Rider Amazons. To be fair, this is the Amazon Prime Japan exclusive version of Kamen Rider, not meant for children. We'll get into that.
Definitely not PG.
Not for kids.
Real quick, because the news is already broken for anyone out there who follows Tokusatsu websites, and this is something that Roger, off of our cameras, oddly accurately predicted. Kamen Rider Amazons will become only the third Kamen Rider series to ever get aired in the United States, and it will be the first to be aired in its original Japanese form. Kamen Rider Amazons got picked up by Amazon Prime US.
Beautiful.
So it will actually air here in the States eventually.
Its name probably helped with that.
Probably.
And it actually got renewed for a second season.
Oh, nice.
So it is the first time since the original Kamen Rider television series in 1971 that a Kamen Rider series will return theoretically for a second season. I say that because the original series didn't actually break down into seasons. They just had like a shit ton of episodes span 2 years.
Yeah.
So, anywho, these two episodes that we just got done watching, Raj is the most qualified person on this panel to summarize and tell us about episode 1, because I have a bum refrigerator and was cooking pizzas and all this other stuff while people were helping me move fridges.
I showed up late.
And Coop showed up late.
And I helped move the fridge, but I still watched this first episode also.
So,
Multitasking.
Quick synopsis of episode 3.
Episode 3, pretty much, the last episode we had the big fight between the two Amazons fighting in the rail yard, junkyard, etc. I suppose it's like
adjacent to the quarry that's used in every Toei superhero show ever made.
The most famous quarry of all.
Yes.
You pretty much see the end of that fight, and then you see the Green Amazon pretty much running away, because the Green Amazon is our young kind of hero in this show. That this is his first time becoming an Amazon, and then he runs away, and then powers down and says, "What did I just do? Am I human?" And kind of goes off on kind of a little soul searching thing, and sees what is this? What is going on here? And then, of course, the Red Amazon's been at this for a while. He disappears and then kind of goes away because the team still is not a big fan of the Red Amazon.
The Red Amazon, Amazon Alpha, the Green Amazon, Amazon Omega.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get to episode 4, we basically find the worst pest infestation of all time.
Oh, yes.
I mean, they... Exterminex could not have helped.
No amount of Orkin could have gone and cleaned that place.
Yeah.
So they find an apartment building that is overrun with Amazons.
182 to be specific.
Every single human in that apartment building was a test subject, and they all manifested the same.
Somehow, no one knew.
Yeah, that really should have been like an exclamation point on a report somewhere, like, pay attention to this place, maybe.
It makes you seriously wonder about that place's
I guess
background checks.
really.
I guess they didn't go and register their test subjects. They just, had them come in, dose them with this, super dangerous serum, and then said, "Shoo, go, live in the wild."
Because the Nozomo Corporation sees a blip, say there's one Amazon there, so they send the team out to the apartment complex because there's one Amazon there that manifested as a praying mantis.
Yeah.
And then she orders people to come fix her stuff, like the gas is broken, so a person comes in and she kills them and eats them, and said, "The good gas guy never showed up, send me another person," and they send another person, and she gets to the point where she's got body parts in the fridge and freezer, and she's storing them. And then pretty much the team is called out there, and they get to the point where, wait a second, what's going on here? And they find a whole lot of Amazons popping up in the same area.
Yeah, it suddenly looked. I think the analogy I used when we were there is it suddenly looked like a map for Left 4 Dead.
Oh yeah. Yep. Pretty much.
It did not look pretty.
Yeah.
The
3 flights up, no rope.
But shotguns are still super effective.
They are very
Yes.
effective, and they never run out of ammo.
Infinite ammo.
This is the only Kamen Rider series ever where guns work.
Oh yeah,
Okay?
Accurate.
I'm just going to throw that out. I mean, I've seen all of them.
because they make
This is
special guns that kind of spark and firework and stuff.
Still,
They're like lightning guns,
Yeah.
but
well, I mean, I guess in Kamen Rider Drive they have the special bullets,
Mm-hmm.
so I guess that works. But I mean, shotguns that. What we're seeing in this series is almost the equivalent of if suddenly the Japanese self-defense force was effective against Godzilla
Yeah.
randomly at some point in time.
Like,
You just don't expect
my shot from my gun worked.
it. Yeah.
well, they were effective against the extras.
Yeah.
I mean, none of it went and did anything to the monster of the week.
Yeah, the praying mantis stick.
She just kind of shoot
She's pretty
everyone
invulnerable
off.
unless you're an Amazon.
So we'll just hit some highlights here because, frankly, I think we all kind of want to go back and watch more of this because we're between episodes at the moment. So, and there's only 13 episodes of this series, so we don't get to enjoy it for very long.
pretty
This
short
is a short
series.
one.
Yeah.
So, well, it's an online series, so that's what I think what we've come to expect. The violence in these two episodes, you didn't see the first two. The violence in these two episodes got ramped way the hell up.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Basically, we get to see Amazon Omega, the green one, just go like full on Mortal Kombat on everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
In the episode before this, we saw a guy just cut clean in half and two parts rolled down a hill. So yeah. And then,
yeah, but that was the climax of the episode. That was
Yeah.
the one big violent thing you saw.
yeah. This one, yeah, there's a lot more violence.
So
But this time they just kind of stacked it and layered it, you know. And then this was on top of the fact that literally 75% of the 2 episodes I watched were all combat.
Oh yeah, because the team finds themselves holed up in an apartment complex with all the 182 residents of the apartment complex attacking them. So they hold up, kind of like in Call of Duty, and made like pretty much fortifications inside the apartment complex.
they barricaded
They
all the
barricaded themselves
entrances
through there.
while the
all setting up traps.
and giving the Amazons time to go and munch down some cheeseburgers and to do whatever awkward.
I can see why
bonding that was
McDonald's would
supposed to
sponsor this show because like the cheeseburgers are like the special thing that's like yum yum yum
Yes.
yum
be.
yum.
Infinite cheeseburgers.
So the one thing that watching this, I mean, I have the feeling where we have just started experiencing the beginning of what is effectively the Kamen Rider version of a grindhouse flick.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's that much blood and guts compared to anything else Kamen Rider ever. I mean, the only thing I've ever seen for Kamen Rider that even comes close to this violent is the movie Kamen Rider, or I think Shin Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Which was in the 90s, and that's like the only one that even comes remotely close.
This one, you're ripping off arms and beating
Yeah,
people and blood spurting everywhere.
And this one is
every
actually
shot with
for.
claws.
And this one is actually for. I haven't seen them do anything as violent as the finale of Shin Kamen Rider. The finale of Shin Kamen Rider, the Kamen Rider actually does like Sub-Zero's Mortal Kombat 1 fatality. He rips a dude's head off, spine and all.
Wow.
Nothing in here has topped that one moment.
Sure,
But for just pure length of graphic violence, this has got anything else in Tokusatsu whooped.
Oh yeah.
And this is quite an interesting 2-part episode, since the beginning of this episode was about the beginning of episode 3 was about Omega talking to his mom about about just all the questions he had about being a Amazon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then by the end of it, he is literally throwing spears through people's backs and whipping them off of buildings and
we see
tearing
moves
off
in this one,
limbs
too.
and then
Yep.
chopping them in half with his arm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the
2 episodes, 2.
Coop has had a grin on his face since we started recording.
Yeah.
So no trace of ink in Super Science.
No trace of Weekend Super Science.
Nobody swam to Japan from South America.
Nope.
So
So far, the plot for how this all starts is actually perfectly good,
And
generic, evil super science. I am completely okay with that. Just normal, evil, test subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And there are little things in this so far that I have enjoyed because the thing about Tokusatsu, and we've said it on this show, if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Tokusatsu shows are by and large 25-minute toy commercials.
Yeah.
They're aimed at kids. This one's not.
Not so much, no.
But it is still a toy commercial because they are making figure arts of these things.
Oh,
right?
I'm sure. Oh.
I will probably have them both. But anyway, well, you've seen the shelf, right? So, with this show, you often have to ignore, with any kind of Kamen Rider or Super Sentai show, you have to kind of, ignore the inconsistencies and the stupidities, right?
Yeah. Don't look too close, you'll see the zipper.
Exactly. The extermination team is a competent, trained paramilitary unit.
Who are there for the money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're mercenaries.
And like when the bad guys, we presume the bad guys, I assume they're the bad guys, the evil mad scientist people. When they contact them and go, hey, we have this new weapon, you actually see people going, why the hell didn't you lead all? Why didn't you tell us this before now? We could have been using this the entire time. They actually get mad about it, which intrigued me. I don't think you were here for the very beginning of episode 2, but there's a standoff, or episode 3, there was a standoff between where the guys are sitting there, standing between the two Amazons, Alpha and Omega, and the team is looking at each other going, what's going to happen? What are we going to do? And the commander sits there and goes, don't care. They're not fighting us. Reload.
Yeah.
So it's
it's
actually
it's pretty realistic commentary between a team.
You have a competent combat force. We have a hero who is flawed but has motivation. We have for right now, I would say anti-hero, because we don't know where Alpha, the red one's going to wind up.
He's definitely not a villain. He is full-blown anti-hero.
Yeah. For the time being. I could see him going villainish.
Yeah.
But he is right now the anti-hero. We have the evil bad guy organization, Nozoma, complete with shadowy figurehead, complete
and
with...
they're the driving force between the good guys, the extermination squad, and they're the driving force between the bad guys, the Amazons.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much pitting their creations against each other.
Essentially, the plot here, as we have now found out over the 4 episodes, because they did not tell us, we learned about the drug plot in these 2 episodes. 2 years ago, recap real quick, 2 years ago, Nozoma drugged a bunch of people, turned them into Amazons. But they also provided medication that would keep it under control for 2 years. 2 years later, all the medication is run out. Probably whatever, and this is supposition, probably whatever was used to turn them into Amazons needed the incubation time.
Yeah.
Would be my guess for the plot, because now the extermination team goes out and kills these things when they go batshit bonkers and try to eat people, and then there's a cleanup crew that shows up and harvests this stuff and cleans everything up. Because the Amazon cells are integral to the drugs and the pharmaceuticals manufactured by the Nozoma Corporation.
We'll go and find out what's up with those armbands, too, that all these guys have.
That's how they get the medication. So the medication, it's a 2-year dose of medication that's
slowly
pumped
fed
in
into them.
slowly. It's sort of like intravenous through those armbands. But that's also their tribute to the original series, because the original Amazon series, the armband was actually what triggered his powers. The belt did nothing. The armband is actually what let him transform. Another thing I saw in this, which was, or 2 things I saw, which were neat little nods to Kamen Rider past. We get the bike. It's Kamen Rider. There's going to be a bike.
It looks cool.
It's Omega. He can't drive.
Yeah, it's Omega, and he sits there and says, I can't drive. Basically, why are you giving me the bike? I don't know what to do with it. Which is a pretty cool callback to the original Amazon television series.
Yep.
Amazon could not, he's a savage from the Amazon. He does not only does he not know how to ride a bike, he's scared of a bike.
Yep.
And so to see them go, well, I don't know what to do with this. Why are you giving it to me? The other thing, and I think this is sort of a sideways deal, in a lot of the crossover movies and such, the old school riders, the Showa era's Legendary 7, kind of get broke down into mini teams. So you have Riders 1 and 2 are called the Double Riders. V3 and Rider Man are often kind of lumped together because they shared a television series. Black and Black RX, because in reality they're the same guy, but somehow they managed to have both suits. That one's just confusing. But they lump Amazon and X together for no other real reason than they're just the next 2. They're 5 and 6.
Yeah.
And X's gimmick is that his belt has a handle on it where he can pull out the handle, and it's either a whip, a rope, or a sword. Which is pretty much exactly what Amazon Omega does with his belt, where it's a spear or a whip. We see him use it as both, and I was like, that's actually pretty neat. It's a way to pay a little more homage to the old school writers without, I guess, actually introducing Kamen Rider X in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
Our Moth Amazon actually grew a set in this episode.
Mamu.
He really only went and grew a set when
the girl was hurt.
Yeah, was when he had to go in White Knight for the super badass chick who really didn't need his help at any point the entire episode.
Yeah.
Although she is such a curiosity for Kamen Rider, because I think you guys have now seen enough tokusatsu to know they don't create female badass characters in these shows.
Yeah.
Not often at all.
But she like from what I've seen, I've only seen episodes 3 and 4 now.
Right.
But just out of the box, she just seems like a badass from creation.
Yeah.
It's like she would have got stabbed and bit bad, and she just tells everyone to go and walk off, and she continues to just keep killing bugs.
She is not the Japanese changing character
more effectively than everyone else.
Yeah. And that's such an intriguing thing, because if you go and you look at Kamen Rider shows past, you occasionally wind up with the assertive female. The only real female badass that was a badass from beginning to end of a Kamen Rider show from their first appearance on was probably in Gaim, Mariko, which is the peach-themed Kamen Rider.
Yep.
She's a badass from Jump Street, but then again, she was played by a stunt woman.
Yeah.
So I mean, to have that type of character here is, I think, maybe just another thing that goes to show that they're looking at this going, no, we didn't aim this at kids. No. They deliberately don't put a lot of strong female characters in those shows because females aren't the target audience. With something like this, where it's a more mature audience, we can actually put more mature, nuanced characters.
There are going to be more female audience for something like this, because you have the Amazon Omega, which is definitely the changing character in this Japanese series. Because many Japanese series is you have a person that's kind of like a mold of clay. They're going to turn into what they become later on. But like the red guy, he's already good. Alpha, he knows his everything, right. And then the badass girl, she's perfect. So I think it's going to be an interesting kind of transformation for Omega to get into where he is comfortable being in Amazon.
We'll see who ends up going and teaching him the most over time, because what he learned from Alpha definitely was really cool from the Amazon standpoint.
Yeah,
definitely not so cool from the human standpoint.
Alpha's the only one that's taught him anything so far, really.
And the other thing I saw in this that I thought was something I just looked at as, you would never see this in a normal show. And I know I'm harping on that right now, but that's because this is so freaking different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even from a show like Garo, which is a tremendous show in and of its own right,
mm-hmm.
but it's not so shockingly different from certain tokusatsu formulas. It's just more adult versions of them.
Yeah.
The bad guy organization in most of these shows is the bad guy organization. If you're not the nuanced villain, you're twirling your mustache.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, we can see through, like, for instance, like the helmet cameras and whatnot, the big bad is actually showing, from the soldier's point of view, the fight in the building to the board of directors of Nozoma, and these people are legit freaking disturbed.
Oh yeah, because
by what they're seeing.
This is all new. The board of directors. I don't think they even knew anything about this. This is probably that woman's.
Because before the extermination squad this time, I suspect that the board of directors just never went and saw any of the violence that happened around the Amazons, and that was actually a point expressly made by the head of the organization the very end of the fourth episode. He went and said, "This is what we did. We're going to
do more of this."
Yeah.
So
it's all us.
And you get that vibe that he showed this to them. It's an intimidation tactic.
Yeah.
We orchestrated this. We're paying the people to kill the things that we created.
Yep.
That are killing other people. No, so just so you know, in case you don't know who you work for,
yeah,
this is it.
Yeah. If you cross us, you will be killed by our people.
Yeah. You will either be killed by one group of our people or the other group of our people. It's
Or
just a
you'll be
matter
killed.
of whether or not they're going to eat you or not.
That is true.
So, because we voiced our opinions of the designs on our first couple episodes of this series. What do you think of the designs, the looks of our our two riders, the monsters, and so on?
I really like the suit designs that I've seen so far. I think they're really sleek, and I actually like the designs substantially more than of course the old original Amazon show. But of course higher.
Yeah, 41
budget.
years later.
Yeah, there's a lot of new tricks that folks have gone and brought to the scene to go and make stuff look cool for less. But the choreography for the most part is kind of something that is a bit of a miss, though. There's a lot of times where literally they were just going and ham arming each other in the fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
It's like okay. It's like some of the choreography from other Kamen Rider shows obviously has left me much more wanting in that regard.
With a higher standard.
Because until the very express scenes where they're supposed to be doing something awesome, usually it's just a lot of ham arming and just running into each other.
The only thing about the choreography, and I can certainly see what you're talking about. The only thing I think where I'm a little more forgiving of the choreography in the show is they're all savages. Only one of these Amazons is actually trained, and that's Alpha.
Yeah.
He's the only one that actually knows how to use his powers, how to fight, and so on. So everybody else is either basically the Amazon's equivalent of a zombie, or is a housewife that feeds on people, gas servicemen and whatnot, or they just got their powers somehow. Yeah. And choreographing a sleek, sophisticated fight between two trained warriors is a whole hell of a lot easier than choreographing a fight between people who are supposed to look like they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Sure.
So I give it a little bit of a pass.
Again, like this is way down on my list of actually, this is like one of my few complaints.
Yeah,
at this point.
if this is where you're nitpicking from, so
you liked it pretty well.
Yeah. So, final thoughts on episodes 3 and 4 of Amazons.
I thought they were all well done. I like the computer animation and stuff that they're using in there. I'd like to see the movement and the shaping of Omega. See how he does. See if he turns into Alpha at some point.
Okay,
if that's the finished product.
Definitely not for kids. Besides that, pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
Not for kids, probably not for all adults. To be perfectly honest, I would. There's a part of me, a morbid part of me, that very much wants to hear what Richie thinks of this show at this point. He watched the first 2 episodes, but they didn't go where these 2 did.
That's true.
So, and I would be very curious because Richie is, I don't think necessarily a fan of the darker, more mysterious stuff, and this certainly goes in that direction.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely up there with the creep factor for Jetman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even was it Garo, the one who shines, the 3rd season, which has the we've all, I think all 3 watched that show together. You've never watched it?
I've watched Garo. I don't think I've seen
the one who shines in darkness.
No.
That's the one with the badass fight scene where with the van.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, I mentioned you've seen the scene, but not the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Best scene ever.
Yeah, this show hasn't topped that yet. But that's the coolest fight scene ever in the history of Tokusatsu. But I'm pretty sure about half the stunt people almost died. And my final thoughts: awesome 2 episodes. Like I said, just the callbacks to the legacy of Kamen Rider and the old shows. Those are something that I love. The legacy of something, the history of something. So I love when they do that, and you take something that is from another era, from another time, and then you put your twist on it and make it what you want for your show. So I really do dig that. It's Amazon without being Amazon. It's definitely that show for a different era. So I dig that a lot. So we're going to be watching more of this. In case you're wondering where the hell Kamen Rider Drive went, well, we haven't abandoned it. We have not pulled in a ninja on Kamen Rider Drive. Yeah, Kamen Rider Drive, because Dave the Head, who, by the time you see this, the pandemic episode where Dave basically blew a freaking gasket because he thought we were watching the rest of the show without him. We're waiting basically for Dave and Joe to both be available so we can finish off the show with them.
Which is going to be tough.
Yeah, because they both have weekday jobs now. So, but we're going to figure that out. So don't worry, we haven't punched out a drive. Remember, folks, check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Denzicaster. We're on Twitter at ECS Podcasts. And don't forget that now Denzicaster shows up here on Wednesdays with the Denzi Blitz every single week right here on YouTube on the ECS network. But if you want to see it a week early, then go to our Facebook page because Denzi Blitz shows up there a week ahead of everywhere else. Right now on Denzi Blitz, it's me blasting through. By the time this airs, I'm either at the end of Deca Ranger or we're starting Kamen Rider Decade, one or the other. But if there's something in particular you want us to watch, whether it be here on our panel discussion with regular Denzicaster or on the Denzi Blitz, remember our favorite Penguin is actually going to start doing his own Denzi Blitz episodes as well.
Really?
He contacted me. Yep, he's going to start with Kamen Rider Forze. Is going to be the show he kicks off his Denzi Blitz with. So check it out and definitely share, like, subscribe, all the things you do on social media. Until next time, where we will probably have a little more Amazon coming your way, or Amazons. And remember to put the damn S at the end.
Yeah.
More Amazon, or we could just pull a fucking fake out and just go back and watch regular Amazon.
On that one.
Until next time, I'm Mike.
I'm Roger.
Travis.
And we'll see you next time on Electric City Sentai Denzicaster.